How in the hell are we all doing? Let's get into some chit. Yep, some chit. Let's get into some chit. Some chit. Some chit. The poop's gonna get into chit. Oh, please. Sorry, I'm out in the RV today. Many of you saw over the weekend the pipe blew again. Wonder if I can do it, if you guys can see it, because some of you haven't seen what's going on inside the house. This is going to be kind of a quick, short little video. And then again, I say that all the time and they never turn out short, so who knows. Alright, that's one of the furnace registers out in the... Wait a minute, what the hell's going on here? Ha! Ain't that a bitch? Alright. So this is one of the registers that I'm talking about. You can see the water. Ugh, why does it keep playing?
Did it again.
Dick, nabbit.
Did it again. Fucking did it again.
But it's spewing out water everywhere, and it's making for an unbelievable, no fun situation. But the piece on the furnace right there where that yellow handle is what regulates the water into the furnace and throughout the registers, and there's a certain level, and that failed and it stays open. That there's a little red puncher that goes down on it to fill the tank. But anyways, I'm out in the RV today, and we've got Fred's Plumbing back again to fix the shit. And so I was going to do a video in here because people think this is my life, but this isn't my home. This is I hate to burst a certain person's bubble, and I'm going to touch on base with you in a minute there, buddy. This is a recreation vehicle, RV, recreation, not HV, home vehicle. No, I don't live in here. I love being in here. It's fun. Kids love being in here. Wife likes to come in here, curl up in the back there, turn on the heater, and she gets all the fucking peace and quiet she gets. Reads her books. But no, they're in the house running around and the fucking dog's barking its brains out. But I wanted to make this quick little video. Somebody left me a comment that I wanted to touch base on real quick. And as I was writing it, I was realizing, oh, fuck. This goddamn thing is longer than hell. And we're going to fight through... Where the fuck are you going? Oh, you get back in that fucking house. You're being paid by the hour. You don't go nowhere until that shit's fixed. Brain fart. Oh, my lengthy letter that's being too long and no punctuation and all that shit. I figured I would do a quick little video and just reply to this guy. And thank you for sharing your story with me. And he'll know who it is. He left me a comment in regards to his situation and how he handled it with his significant other. I don't know how far I should go into it, but his family member. Everybody knows my sister passed away this year, and I've been having a on and off hard time with this whole situation. But before I get into that whole thing, I want to touch base on that Scott dude. I understand the length you're going to go to make sure you're accepted again, and the crap you got to do. And everybody knows you already rolled over on me, and the moment Hanky said hello to you, you had to go and bow. And I told you, I don't give a fuck who you're friends with. I don't care. But leaving comments on my last video and deleting it, I got the the email for it and posted it up on my Twitter to show people how much of an asshole you are. You know, you need to remember what you did, what you put people through. And you expect, and the videos about houses and bikes and everything along those lines. Here, you guys, if you guys can get it. Ah, shit, it's backwards. Ha, ain't that shit. If you don't have my Twitter, that's what he left me. But you left multiple videos of a life that you didn't have, and you came out one day and bowed to everybody that it was a lie. And then you go and crucify me. I don't give a shit, Scott. I really don't. You're... Whatever. I'm not going to go... No, I'm not going to stoop to your level, and I don't have the head size to do it. Multiple craniums. You know, maybe that's why you got split personalities. Because you got two heads, you know, double craniums. I don't know. Anyways. So yeah, just remember, you beat the fuck out of Isaac, whoever the fuck that cat is, for months on end. Now you're best buds with him now. You are one of the... You are the definition of this whole flip-flop shit. You really are. And... Bye, buddy. Bye. Yeah, I made a mistake. I regretted it. I felt bad. But right now, I'm feeling like it was justified to get the fuck away. You belong where you are. You do. That's your sanctuary. I have never in my life seen a... I don't know, what are you, 40-something? I can't tell. You have no hair. You got this massive head. I can't tell. Drugs and shit like that have fucked your ass up. Fuck. Yeah, I'm old. I'm 50. Don't look it. But, whatever. So yeah, when you go leaving comments and deleting them, and just remember the shit you did. I'm going to remind you of that every now and again, Scott. I'm going to. I have all of those too. And I have the multiple crap you said about Haggy too, buddy. But you can justify that because that was in the past and you were upset, you were mad, you were sad. Anywho, I want to get back to the subject at hand. I don't want to make it about people. Okay. I wrote this, I was writing this guy, my response to his thing, and like I said, he was going through a tough time in his life, losing a family member, and I am too. And not to make a long story short, to make a long story short, it was along the lines of intervening, and this was my response to him, and I thought I would read it to him instead of having him fight through my handwriting. I'm haunted with that question myself every day. My sister led a rough childhood. She was in and out of the wrong crowds and rebelling against my parents. See, this is why I fucking hate this spell check. How's the weather at private school? I was away at private school at this time. But what I didn't know was my sister was fighting a hell of a battle within herself. Up until recently, I found out she had a lot of resentment towards me. She felt that my family took preference over me than her because I was sent away to private school. I was always there for her to pick her up, and when she fell, hold on a second. I can't even read my own damn handwriting. Damn, that's crazy when you can't even read your own shit. Took preference over me, then her, because I was sent away to private school. I was always there for her to pick her up when she fell, but now I was in a place where I couldn't fight her battles. One night, I received a phone call. In the middle of the night, my house parent called for me and said, there's a phone call for you. It doesn't sound good. At your house. You need to talk to your sister. I guess Jill and my father had it out, and Jill didn't want to be around anymore. R.E. life. She was contemplating suicide. I don't know if I think she attempted it once or twice, but never, obviously didn't succeed. She was going through an awful time, and I don't know why or what. I mean, Jill had her horse shows, her horse and stuff like that. My parents were by no means showing any preference to anybody. I mean, while I was away, I went away to private school. Jill got a horse and became an unbelievable equestrian rider, you know. The kid made a fucking quilt out of all the ribbons she won, and championship ribbons. I gotta find that, actually. I gotta find that. I think my father has it. Anyways, back to this. There's a lot of trouble at your home. You need to talk to your sister. I guess Jill and my father had it out. Jill didn't want to be around anymore. But the next morning, I arranged a ride to get home and get my sister stable. She got the help that she was looking for and needed. By the time my junior year of high school came around, I was in a new school, a co-ed school. Then Jill came. Then Jill was finally able to join me at private school. She was at peace with herself. But she still had an awful lot of resentment towards me because of my upbringing. Like I said, I didn't know any of that until probably a year or two before Jill passed away, that she had all of this resentment. And like I said, I don't know what caused it, that I was getting special treatment. Like I said, I didn't know until probably about a year or two before she passed, after she passed. After school, Jill got involved with a guy by the name of John Bradley. This guy was pure hell. He made my life a living hell. He stabbed me with a pencil, and the lead broke off in my leg, and I don't know if the lead's still in there or not, but there's a dark circle that makes it look like it is, and I see that scar, and it haunts me. Living hell in elementary school, which provoked my family to send me to private school. Also, because dyslexia at that time was unheard of. Well, it was heard of, it just wasn't, they didn't know how to handle it in the schools. And Eaglebrook, by no means, was capable of setting this up. And they went through an awful lot of trouble to understand it and get me the education that I need. And by the time I got into high school, we had to go to another school. This was a pre-prep school. Then you went off to like a high school type deal from my sophomore year to my senior year, which was Foreman. And they had implemented and changed their study all around to accommodate people with dyslexia, because now it had become recognizable and understanding on how to treat it. I'm not going to go into it. If you guys don't know what it is, it's a pain in the ass, and it's why I hate spelling. It's one of my downfalls, but I get picked on it for anyways. But okay. Oh my man, sent me to private school. She said she was going. Sent me to private school. She said she was going to marry this guy. I stood behind her, but deep down inside, it tore me apart. All the hurt he did upon me, and I have a hole in my leg that looks like the lead still is there where he stabbed me with a pencil in elementary school. A tough place for me to be, but once I was in private school, I was in heaven. There are memories that I wouldn't trade for the world. But anyways, like I said, I stood behind my sister in their marriage. Seems to be, she was good and happy at first, for the first few years. I was off busy with my career. I just gotten out of culinary school, and I was head of a restaurant in Simsbury, Connecticut called Chart House. The bad thing about it was on the opposite side of Connecticut, and about an hour drive for me to get home. I was in Simsbury, Connecticut. I was living in Safford Springs, Connecticut. And I would drive my Jeep. But that's where I stopped the letter. I was driving my Jeep home, and I was cut off by a drunk driver. The first time, I hit the same bridge twice. Go figure. The hood on my truck came whipping up. I was going to, probably 95, 100, I don't know, somewhere in that ballpark. I just bought one of those Dodge Dakota things, the V6 Magnums, and they were fun as fucking hell. They were fast and peppy. So I was screaming down the highway. No, I was not drunk. Getting home, and the hood came up, and the airbag hit me, blew me through the back window of the truck, and I creamed down this Jersey barrier. So I was fighting with my life. My sister was fighting with her life. And like I said, she was a couple of years into her marriage, and John all of a sudden found God. And Jill was having a tough time battling it. The Roman Catholics don't believe in birth control or anything along those lines, and the poor Jill was just, she's got 5 kids now, or she had 5 kids. Her hormones were all messed up. She was fighting the demons within herself. She was in and out of pain medication. For a car accident or something like that. She got hooked to it, but not dependent upon it. She was able to get out of it and cover up that fact that she had a problem. So John at that point in time was, like I said, found God, and he was going to do everything and anything in his power to make my sister look like the devil, because John had a religious experience on this whole thing. Jill was fighting John. He wanted to send, they moved to Georgia because the jobs down there were better for him and my sister. She was a veterinarian. So they moved down there, popped out a couple more kids, and John still proceeded on making her life. At this point in time, John's religion had just gotten so out of control, and please don't take anything against this. I have a problem with God for this reason. Everybody has their beliefs. I have mine, and for a reason. But John wanted to send Jill to an exorcism up in Boston, this, that, and everything else. Their marriage was on and off, on and off. On and off. With Jill living in Connecticut and me living in, I think at the time in Connecticut, maybe I was up in Vermont at this point in time, my first time around when I went up to work for Killington. Jill and John, I couldn't be there for my sister, and it was tearing me apart. And every time her marriage was on the off, he just made it so bad. He filled those kids' heads with so much bullshit that it was disgusting but I was fighting with myself the fact that I wasn't there for her to help her. And I understand where this guy's comment is coming from, intervening, and I wish I had intervened. I wish I could have made a difference, and I'm haunted by it still to this day. My sister went to her grave, obviously from an automobile accident. She was she filed for divorce, and John blew the fucking courts up with so much fucking religion and God shit that she lost custody of her kids, and she was heading home to fight it. It's sad and disgusting. Now that, well, I'll get to that part in a second, but now she was heading home. Her primary car that she just bought, she hit some black ice and wiped out the back end. So, was it a sign from God to say, relax, stay put? I don't know. But she got a little shit wreck while her car was being fixed. The day before her car was due to come back, she had to get back down to Georgia ASAP and fight this allegation of losing custody of her children. So Jill took off with this little piece of shit, and that's how the accident proceeded. John couldn't pay for the funeral. That came out of my father and I's responsibility. You know, my mother, God bless her soul, she couldn't help. She's fighting her own battle with her cancer and stuff like that. So the financial responsibility and a lot of that fell on my father and I. And John, still to this day right now, is sucking our ass because there is money involved and Jill's portion of it. Which I believe will go to her kids, but even though they already have something set up for her kids, I don't know what's going to happen with that whole thing, to be honest with you. But that's not a story for here. I wish I was there for my sister. I feel at times that I wish I could intervene and be with her and to help her and been there more often. It sickens me that Jill went to her grave with her children hating her, and I didn't realize the anger that she had for me because of the special treatment. I don't know. I don't know how to answer those questions, and I understand where this gentleman is coming from with him. It seems like no matter what you do, you can't protect them enough or save them. I wish I had done more. Could I have saved her? I don't know. I needed to live my life and all of that honky door shit. But that, I hope that answers your question. I understand where you're coming from with your question, and I do feel the pain that you are going through as well, and the fight that you're going on with yourself. It's been such a shit year and fighting with life. I don't know. I don't think I've actually dealt with it yet or come to grips with it. I know Thanksgiving was tough, and I know Christmas is going to be even tougher because that is the one, Thanksgiving, yeah, we got together here and there and stuff like that, but Christmas is the one time of the year where we do get to see each other and we all come together as a family, and it's not going to be the same. So, I know what you mean, and I know what you're going through. I don't know if this, I'm not, I just wanted to reply to you this way instead of you having to fight through my handwriting. I mean, shit, I couldn't even read it. I can imagine what, and that's the thing, is that, when I go to, write something to something or somebody like that, you pull up your keyboard and you push this little microphone thing and it talks to you, but it picks up everything that you're saying, and you can watch it type, and if you go too quickly, it sends stuff in there that shouldn't be in there. You know, and this is the problem that I've had all along, is, you know, my kids would come and go, and, you know, and sometimes it picked it up. You know, that's what I was referring to. But anyway, I don't know. I hate the damn thing, but it's the only way that I can keep up with conversations sometimes, and be able to communicate with people. But, and I go back and read it, I'm like, what the fuck? You writing, Bobby? That was some bullshit nonsense. What the hell? So, I don't know. That's that. I understand where you're coming from, my friend. It's good to see you around. You disappeared for many, many years, or a couple of years, I should say, not many, but a year or two. Until the next one, don't leave any comments you don't want known about. Nope, don't. You get emails, buddy. Just remember where you came from. Anywho, I'm off. 26 minutes long, and I wasn't planning on having it to be that long. Pieces, deuces, and love. I don't want to go back into that house. I really don't. I'm tired of water. It's the middle of fucking November. We've already got a foot of snow on the ground. I'm sick of water. Had enough of it this summer to just stay cool. Now I can't get it out of my life. But deuces, peace, love, and all. Bye.